All right, I'm Alicia Grady, Chief of Armed Forces Community Service. Welcome to our August Community Update. Just a couple admin remarks before we get into the brief. There's a lot of information on your table, so please feel free to take any of the flyers or information that's on there. You will see a feedback form on your table. It's gray and blue. If you could, please provide your feedback about this update so that we can help build on this and make it better for you. Just leave them on the table when you're finished and we will pick them up. Thank you to the Red Cross for providing coffee and snacks this morning. We truly appreciate it. And I will turn it over to Colonel Lucas, who will give us a few remarks.
Is it on? Yeah. Okay, thanks. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. Thanks, Alicia, for getting us started. My name is Colonel Nicole Lucas. I am 1 week in the job, I think, but glad to be here. I'm still learning my way around, still learning JBLM, but I want, just this morning to say that, it doesn't matter if you're wearing blue or green or civilian or family member, I'm your garrison commander. So we really are focused on the mission that we do here to support all of you in many capacities, and so I really look forward to that opportunity and getting to know all of you. And being new myself, I can tell you that there's no dumb question. There's nothing wrong with saying, why is it like that here? Or, hey, how come we do it this way? Please give us that feedback we'll ask you in surveys and ICE comments and those kind of things. But I promise you, if you see me anywhere, you can tell me those things as well. And we'll work to make sure that we're doing everything we can here from the Joint Base perspective to support you. One side. So the only thing I have to talk about this morning is just a quick reminder that the Centennial is coming up on the 18th of August. So big event for JBLM. And it's not just about Fort Lewis or Lewis being 100 years old. It's about 100 years of history that involves both Lewis and McChord. So a lot more information to follow, and please kind of pay attention to this and spread the word as you can, because it'll be a great event for everyone who lives and works here on JBLM. And that's all I have, sir.
How are you? Good morning. Oh, you are unmotivated. Good morning. How are you all? That's false motivation, but it's much better. Hey, it's great to be back. As you all know, we've been pretty busy all throughout JBLM. With a ton of things going on. The Corps just got back from Australia for JTF validation through PACOM. We're going to Korea in 2 weeks. And then we'll go to Korea again, and then we'll go to Japan. So we'll be busy through December, but that's just the Corps headquarters. You've got 7th IDs moving units all over the place. You've got Mobility Guardian. I had a great event last night. I know Reba will talk a little bit about that. So it's really, really busy, and it's going to not slow down until really Christmas time. And so as I said before, I'm going to come to every one of these that I can, that I'm here for. And what the biggest concern I have is, we just saw Nicole. She's an example of the transitions that we're going through over the next month or so. We're going to, have a change of command for 7th ID here later this week. We've got 2 new DCGs just getting on board the Corps. We've got a new Chief of Staff. 62nd Airlift Wing just changed. So I'm really would ask us all to make sure we over-communicate. Don't take anything for granted that just because we've heard it before, everybody's heard it before, because we will have a lot of new teammates, a lot of new family members here. And I'd just emphasize what Nicole just said. We are going to be running really, really hard. So if there's an issue that needs attention, don't assume that we know it. It never ceases to amaze me that I'll go out on the street and people think just because I'm a 3-star, I know everything that goes on. I'm probably the last to know. You all know before I do, frankly. So if there's an issue that needs to be addressed, please get it up the chain as quickly as we can, because we can solve anything if we just know about it. But again, thanks for all you're doing, and I look forward to spending at least a week or two at JBLM and talking to you all here in the next short term. Thanks.
And on behalf of my boss, Colonel Reba Sankis, who is with our Air Mobility Command 4-star this morning. I want to pass along her thanks to you, General Vleski, and all of our Army brethren and sisters here for your support during Mobility Guardian, or as we like to call it, it's an impromptu, very early morning and very late night air show, which you guys have probably heard. The quick statistics for you, just so you know, we've had 30 different countries participating. We have over 3,000 additional airmen and soldiers here on the McChord Field side, and we've launched over 400 sorties in 6 days of flying, so it is epic. If you extrapolate out the amount of cargo we have moved just in these days, if we sustain this for an entire year, we would double the amount of cargo of the busiest Air Force terminal in the world. So it has been a huge, huge lift, not just for the stick and rudder folks, but for the ABG, Bill Percival, his team, Colonel Lucas and your team, your support, and of course, for the Corps, thank you very much, sir. But with that, I'll hand it back over.
Okay, thank you. So I know we have a lot of new folks, and so welcome everyone who is new. For my senior spouses that I have in here, please help us get the rosters updated so that we can get your FRG leaders on the roster so they can attend community update. There's a lot of important information that we put out here. And before I brief my slide, I'd like to give a very heartfelt thank you to Major General and Mrs. James, who are departing this Friday. Thank you so much for your support to all of Armed Forces Community Service. We really appreciate it. And Shelley, to you for all your leadership and guidance and mentorship for not only myself, but my staff. We really appreciate it. Thank you. So Armed Forces Community Service, because we are a joint base, we serve all our service members on the base, and so we had rebranded about 4 years ago just to make sure that everybody understood that all our programs and services are available to them. We are your community navigator. I'm not going to go into every single program that we offer because there are many of them. This is your central touch point for all programs and services on JBLM, if it's from Armed Forces Community Service or for chaplains or for behavioral health or any kind of resource that you need off the installation, we can help you navigate those resources. Central phone number, central email, check appointments to schedule classes and those kind of things. So we are your navigator. Please take advantage of us, and we will get you to where you need to go. And with that, I will be followed by Colonel Pettit.
Good morning. Oh, come on. My name is Colonel Tammy Pettit. I'm the Resiliency Director for First Corps, and I would like to introduce the Community Strengths and Themes Assessment. I encourage you guys to take it. On the table. You will find some flyers. It's QR enabled. We need you to help us to build a better community. So we need to know what you think. Now, we published an op order directing all the green suits to have at least 10% of the units take it. But what I encourage you here at the community update is to ensure that we have blue suits, we have civilian spouses, we have contractors, we have just DA civilians. Please, we need everybody to take this survey if you don't want another auto body shop and a Sam Adams pub, right? Because that's what the green suiters will say that we need more of. We need to know how you feel and how you feel about your community in here at JBLM. So please take the time. You'll see these flyers out. You'll see them at the everywhere that there is any type of static activity, whether it's at the pharmacy at Madigan, whether it's Kubo Clinic, whether it's at Waller Hall. We have ensured that we have placed these strategically around the base so that you will have the opportunity, and it's QR enabled, so you can take it with your smartphone. So please, I encourage you to take these, pass them around your sections, your units, and ensure that we get a good, broad-based assessment of how JBLM is doing so that we can action that and come up with better ideas and make this community better. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Bea Westcott Curl, and I'm the Chief of Child, Youth, and School Services here at JBLM. And with the new school year starting and a lot of new families, we have an information group in the back. So we want to make sure that we're available as people are transitioning in. We've had a lot of questions on how we register children here, and there's a new system that everybody in Department of Defense is navigating, which is called militarychildcare.com. Do not call it mcc.com because it takes you to a completely different place. And so people need to register for the wait list at militarychildcare.com. And then once getting here, they need to go to Parent Central Services to register their kids. On the back table and on some of the tables is as easy as 1, 2, 3 information on how to register, where to register here on JBLM. So if you have any questions, my team's in the back. There's sports folks, skies folks, school services if you have a school-age child, and I also have our Parent Central staff here for questions. Have a good one. See, you told me so.
Thanks. Good morning, everyone. For those of you who haven't met Colonel Mike Place, the commander of Madigan, why don't you hit the next slide? As we just mentioned, it's start of school, so we talk about immunizations over at Madigan. Want to remind everyone that immunizations are important. It came home to me not so long ago. A friend of mine, spouse, was diagnosed with cervical cancer, something that can be prevented by vaccination. So there are some real-life consequences of these. I encourage you to go to the website that we've included here to help us spread the word on vaccinations. Go ahead, next slide, please. The other thing I've mentioned over the last year or so here at this particular forum is that we want you to get your wellness appointments. Get them in soon, because come the 21st of October, we're switching over to a new electronic health record. It'll be the first large hospital in the DoD to do that. While that happens, we are going to have a slowdown in the number of appointments that are available, particularly for wellness. We're going to be prioritizing acute problems. So if you twist your ankles, you break your arm, we want to see you, but most of the wellness things we're probably going to slow down some on. So now is the time. If you need to have that physical exam, that pap smear, the whatever that you need to have routinely, now is the time to make those appointments. Otherwise, you're probably going to be needing to wait till December, January time period before those start to ramp back up again. There's the phone numbers as well for you to make those appointments. For our school-based health clinic, with schools started, I want to remind everybody that we have in these 4 high schools and 3 middle schools the opportunity for your children to be seen at the school. Okay, so we send providers to those schools so that they can get care there. That means you don't have to leave work, you don't have to leave home, you sign the paperwork, they get care there, and then we contact you to let you know what we talked about, what care we provided. Go ahead, next slide, please. Here's some of the things that we'll do for you. School physicals, of course, immunizations, of course, but probably from my perspective, the more important are things like asthma or acne or diabetes, those things that kids need to have a lot of follow-ups for. Well, this allows them to be seen there at school routinely to take care of their problems there. Next slide, please. Oh, I'm sorry. And a reminder, you have to sign up every year. So if you did this last year, you still need to file new paperwork this year to give us authority to see your kids. Next one, please. And of course, school physicals. We can see you at any of your PCM appointments to do that. But again, now is the time to make those appointments. Next slide. Anybody heard of performance triad? How many folks are getting the 10,000 steps? Yeah, there you go. That's what we're talking about. So activity, nutrition, and sleep, that's what we're here for. To be the best that we can physically, emotionally, psychologically, to be able to succeed for Green Suiters in combat, for family members to be resilient while we're gone. Because stuff gets hard while we're gone. We know that. We got all kinds of apps and so forth. So if you go to the App Store, look for Performance Triad, okay? P3, either one, you can get there from here. Then I'll go to JBLM Cares. Tomorrow we're doing the ribbon cutting on our Autism Service Center, our Joint Base Lewis McChord Center for Autism Resources, Education, and Services. Want to invite everyone to that ribbon cutting. All your special needs families, there is now a place in conjunction with AFCS. We're going to have a place for them to come to help them navigate the system, to find out the benefits and resources, and to deliver care at a single site. Next slide. These are some of the things that we're going to be providing there. Next. So where is it? If you come in from the Madigan Gate, that's up the upper left-hand corner, Jackson Avenue comes around, there's a big child development center right over there by Madigan. It is not that child development center. There's a second one behind it. That's the one we're looking at. So the red arrow doesn't exist in real life, only on the slide. Next slide, please. This is kind of what it looks like from the outside and the inside as you go in. Next slide. completely converted the Child Development Center to a state-of-the-art facility. We sent people across the country to some of the best autism service centers in the country to devise this. We actually had a bunch of community partners there last night, and the physical therapists, occupational therapists, and so forth. We had actually several of them said, how do I apply for a job here? Next slide, please. So it's coming now. Next. If you need more from Madigan, that's how I get in touch with us. Thank you very much. And usually I'm followed by Buck James, but sorry, Buck, you're out today.
Okay. So real quickly, Road to the Summit, if you have not been here before, every year we do a very major, through the Service Member for Life program, Transition Assistance Program, Road to the Summit. No one from DHR is here, so I will brief it. We are at this point right here. So we are doing our RPRs, and the summit is on the 27th and 28th of September. 2 full days of a lot of information for your transitioning service members. I highly encourage that if you have service members who are transitioning within the next year, to allow them to attend. There's a lot of good information that they will receive at this summit. We have a lot of community partners here. We have a lot of apprentice programs, a lot of employers in the area that come to JBLM and want to hire your service members, so please encourage them. We also have a education fair coming up. We had one on June 22nd, and the next one is on August 17th. This is a good way for folks to prepare for college, prepare resumes, prepare for their job search. So after this is Steve Perno.
Thanks. I'm Steve Perno. I'm the Director of Public Works. As those that have not been here before, this is typical weather for the Pacific Northwest, west of the Cascades. It only rains once a year, and that's September through May. In June, July, August, it doesn't rain at all. We're at day 53 of no rain whatsoever. So what this is water conservation measures. Every summer, about every summer, we go through water conservation measures. If you look at the top, that's more for me. If you look at it, we do water the parade field, and if we didn't, it would be a dust bowl with all the changes of command that we have. So what we do is we minimize the watering, but we select the areas that we have to protect. As far as the mission's concerned, all military vehicle wash racks as well as washing aircraft, that is still 100% go. That's the mission, and we will continue to do that. Golf courses, they are money makers. They are on different water systems. They're not on our potable water systems. They're on their own systems. So we let them continue to water so they can maintain to have a good golf course and make money. The last one is what most people are going to be interested in. Please help us out. We probably don't have water Nazi cops out there to check on you, so most of this is going to be an honor system. Please help us protect our water systems. We may have enough water in our aquifers, but right now we are having problems with some of our wells. We have 3 wells that are not operating. So our ability to get that water out is somewhat limited. We're not in a crisis. What we're trying to do is prevent a crisis. So please do your part and help us protect our water. Next slide, please. Okay, we've had 3 incursions. This is more for the uniform. We had 3 incursions into our endangered species habitat. DPTMS has a great handout. There's at least one on each of the table. There's a picture of those 3 little critters that we have. There's a gopher, there's a bird, and there's a butterfly. And they all live out in the prairies of our training land. It's important that the units get with DPTMS. They've got a great program. They train you on what you cannot do. There's cyber stakes out there. You can see them on the upper left. Please follow the cyber stakes, and please follow what DPTMS tells you. Digging permits. Please call DPW for digging permits. We do not want you to hit an archaeological site or anything, the power lines or anything like that. There are no digging areas out there. Please get with DPW on that. There should be no civilians out there unless it's approved by DPTMS. So if you're a unit out there and you see civilians out there, if they're not part of DPTMS or DPW doing their job, they probably shouldn't be out there. And horseback riding. There's designated areas out there for horseback riding. Again, DPTMS does a great job in supporting the horse community, but there are only certain areas that they should be on. If there are not any other questions, I'll be followed by Kathy. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Sustainability Outreach for Department of Public Works. And on your tables, you'll find this little flyer that had a picture of the Siebert stake previously, and then it also has how to navigate JBLM with your smartphone. The advantage of this is it works for both families who are out there exploring. You want to make sure you're in the right spot. And it also works for any service member that's out in the training areas. It tells you where you should be. Again, it doesn't use your battery. It doesn't drain your battery. And if you need more information, because these sites are constantly updated, these maps are constantly updated, you can go to the DPTMS website. But it does help you out. Next slide. Have you guys heard about our Go Transit program? We got an awesome program here on Joint Base Lewis McChord. We have van pools, bikes, and a transit system. In this case, we're pushing our Go Van Pool. If you're interested, we have 2 people that can help you hook up with a new ride share. We've got a member at Madigan, and we have a member in the Department of Public Works. We offer the mass transit benefit, so it costs you nothing to ride in a van pool. Next slide. We're offering van pool incentives. Again, there's right now is a great time to join a van pool, and you can recruit others and get an incentive as well. Next slide. That's it for me? Okay. Thank you. Don Myers.
Good morning. I'm Don Meyer. I'm the Chief of Housing for Joint Base Lewis McChord. I'm happy to say we are almost done with peak season turnover. About a month and a half to go, and we'll be finished end of September. So just a couple quick reminders for those that are still PCSing out. Please give Lewis McChord Communities your notice to vacate at least 30 days in advance. We did do some things with Lewis McChord Communities this year based on feedback that we've gotten from residents. So the big changes are that during your pre-inspection, the same person that comes to do your pre-inspection will be the same person that does your final inspection. So you don't have to deal with 2 inspectors and you don't hear 2 different things or 2 different standards. The second thing is Lincoln will no longer hand out a list of cleaning companies. They don't recommend cleaning companies. They don't advertise or socialize cleaning companies. However, as a customer service, if a resident asks if they knew of any cleaning companies, they would provide them a list. That has changed. We will no longer provide that list out. Lincoln won't do that. If you want a cleaning team, Yellow Pages, find one. It's a contract between you and the cleaning company. The resident is still responsible to clear the quarters with Lewis McChord Communities. When you do your final inspection, just make sure the house is clean, ready to go, trash removed, and you're ready for inspection, and you should have no problems. During the pre-inspection, they'll walk you through to tell you exactly what you need to do. I would tell you, you normally do not have to get a cleaning team. You can get in and out of the quarters relatively easy. Next slide, please. Our Lewis McChord Communities partner for our RCI, they're very, very big in the community. Believe it or not, they actually employ a lot of retired service members and a lot of spouses. So if you just got here and you're looking for some employment or you're getting ready to retire, go to the Lincoln website there, look at their stuff for employment, and you could get a good opportunity while you're here at JBLM. Next slide, please. And last thing, throw my little pitch out here. I'm looking for 2 spouses. I need 1 enlisted spouse and 1 officer spouse to be part of our board for the incentive fee for the partner. This is an opportunity for you to be part of a board that judges what our partner does, how they do things, and to have an impact on what happens in the community. We already have the spouses from the Air Force side, so I need an Army officer spouse and an enlisted Army spouse. So if you would like to participate or know somebody that would, please contact Ms. Barnes at that number down there and be part of our program and help your community. That's all I have.
Good morning, Kelly Wetzel with MWR. Brand new program that we've got running on weekends for family golf. A lot of families want to go out and golf together and find it difficult to get a tee time to figure out when to go. So we've got a chance for you to get 9 holes in for $30 for a family of 4. Get your cart, get your clubs if you need them. You get a set of range balls, and you get a hot dog and a soda. So great thing to do on a Saturday or a Sunday with the kids. Next slide. This is what we've got happening this month. The end of the summer sale block party over at the Northwest Adventure Center. We've got a triathlon. If you haven't prepped for it, you've still got a few days to do that. And then the used book sale, first ever used book sale that we're running out of the McChord Library. And then a couple of things. This Friday, if you want to see Moana in beautiful Hawaiian weather, you can head over to our club. because the weather's going to be beautiful. We'll have an outdoor cinema that day. We'll have snacks, beverages for purchase. You can go out and see an outdoor cinema with your family. Parent Caddy Golf Jam. It's kids go out and golf. Their parents are their caddies, and we've done this for years. It's a lot of fun. The Cupcakes and Canvas. You've heard me talk about wine and canvas for adults for a couple of years now. We've turned it around and done one for the families. So if you've got a child who wants to paint and you want to paint with them, it's cupcakes and punch and a canvas and paints at the library. And then the big fight, Mayweather-McGregor. 2 locations, Sam Adams or the Warrior Zone. Next slide, please. Yes. Yeah, talk to the folks at the Warrior Zone or Sam Adams, see if they'll get it up on the TV for you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just a quick rundown of things happening in September, October. This is not a complete list. If you need a complete list, go to our Google Calendar at jblmmwr.com and you should see everything. All the details are right there. And then the next slide. So a quick rundown of what is happening with the McChord Club. As of the 1st of August, Chase is divorcing themselves from the military charge card. And so with the Air Force card, there was a club membership attached to that. There is no longer a Chase club membership card. The Air Force has invested in something called Member Planet, which is great from a marketing standpoint because it'll allow us to communicate with all of our members. Prior to that, we had little to no communication with our members. So Member Planet is coming online the 15th of this month. We are inviting club members and also those folks who need to transfer their membership. When you move from location to location, we ask that you transfer your membership to the club that's there. So on the 16th, 17th, 29th, and 30th, there will be free lunches at the McChord Club. We ask you to come that day for lunch. We will transfer your membership at that time, and that way you will still get your club benefits. And then those of you who are not club members, and those who are still as well, we'll have a club rewards program that we are starting here, and that will afford you rewards at about 15 different MWR facilities, including a $1 off $7 food purchase at Habanero, or inside one of the strike zones in the bowling centers, $2 off a $20 food purchase at Sam Adams, 10% off equipment rental at Adventures Unlimited or the Northwest Adventure Center. So depending on what you pay in dues a month, you can absolutely offset those costs by just the MWR discounts that we're offering. So if you want to join the club, new memberships will be available on the 15th of August, as well as those transfers. And then I brought some information in the back. Unfortunately, the club manager was going to be here this morning, but they have a huge Mobility Guardian breakfast this morning. They've got a bunch of folks coming through at lunch, and she just could not get away. So I brought her information if you want a complete list of all of those rewards that we're offering, or if you want information about how to join the club. I'll be in the back after everything. That's it. Thanks.
Good morning, leaders, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chaplain Mark Gauthier, the Garrison Chaplain and the Senior Pastor for the Lewis, Maine Protestant Congregation. If the Army or the Air Force were to offer you a program peer-reviewed over years of research that has proven to reduce drug and alcohol, strengthen marital relationships, and reduce suicide ideations, and it cost you very little, would you say, give me a piece of that? Well, I present to you the benefits of religious faith and religious communities of faith. If you'd like to read more about that, a great article in the Military Review by the former Deputy Division Chaplain about the benefits of religious faith to readiness and resiliency. I want to just highlight 2 programs that have taken place. One is Vacation Bible School we just did a couple of weeks ago. 631 children and 190 volunteers to support this effort. That is a key indicator for spiritual resiliency and readiness for our families, and a great opportunity. And this Saturday, we had the Back to School Bash, where 800 backpacks were given to children in the community. This was an initiative of the Grace Gospel Service. And what this highlights is the great volunteerism of your families and your service members to make our Garrison Religious Program working to go. 675 volunteers recognized last year, so huge impact. Highlight two things that are coming up. One, on the Air Force side, you'll see a half-page flyer. They have a large block party to help highlight the good programs going on over at McChord, as well as their Faith and Family University. Also at Lewis Main Chapel, starting September, Faith and Family University Night. What is that? That is religious education from 4-year-old up to senior high and for all adults. And so the intent is that Sergeant Snuffy can drive his minivan up to Lewis Main Chapel, open up the door, have a light meal, and there are programs available for every age group. Marriage, parenting, financial management, introduction to the faith, as well as some other topics as well. And then from senior high down to 4 years old. So any questions that I can answer for you this morning? God bless you. Stay in peace.
All right, so I'm the backup briefer. Commissary is not here, so I will run through their slides quickly, but as a quick reminder, all these slides will be posted this afternoon on the MWR and the JBLM web pages. So Fresh Washington Produce, August and September events, Labor Day events, or hours, sorry, Labor Day hours of operation for the commissary, and the exchange.
Good morning. My name is Pat Tinker. I'm the McChord Main Store Manager. Just a couple of events we've got going on in August. Several sidewalk events going on at your McChord Exchange. A Nerf event going on at the Lewis Exchange on the 26th of August. Next slide. September, again, more sidewalk sales. The U.S. Air Force birthday cake cutting. And then toilet events going on at both exchanges on the 30th of September. Next slide. And our big thing that we've got going on right now is once you leave the military, your benefits don't stop once you leave the military. Effective November the 11th, honorable discharge service members will be able to shop online starting November the 11th. So we have a website up there that they can go in and verify. So if you know a veteran out there, let them know that they can go in and verify if they submit a verification form to check their eligibility. And November the 11th, they will be able to shop online only in our stores. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Serena West, and I am the president of the Lewis Community Spouses Club. Our main membership drive to kick off our board year is not this Thursday, my brain, is Thursday, August 31st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Sam Adams. We are really excited about this event. We've had a lot of new spouses who PCS to the area who've already reached out and have wanted to find a way to get connected. So this is a great way to do that. If you have spouses in your unit who are looking for a place to volunteer or just people to hang out with socially, this is a great opportunity to meet people for that. We are still filling both business and informational vendor booths. Vendor booths will be $20 for the space. Informational and nonprofit booths will be at no charge. If you're interested in doing so, the contact information is there on the slide. Additionally, if any of the organizations here would like to have flyers at a table at our event, you can come see me after the meeting. Any questions? No. Thank you.
Sergeant Major talk to you. All right, so our next community update will be 6 September. It's a Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month at 9:30, so mark your calendars. And I will turn this back over to Colonel Lucas.
Okay, thank you. Thanks everybody for presenting, for the information. I hope this is normal, that it's only 35 minutes. Is that true? That's great. But I do want to take a minute and just see if there's any questions before we wrap up. So is there anything that, burning thing that wasn't addressed or something that's on your mind for the summer that we have not talked about? Sir.
Just for 2 seconds, on behalf of Shelley and I, we wanted to thank everybody for what you've done wrapping your arms around Task Force Bayonet It's been a true honor to serve here for the past 2 years. There's a reason why JBLM is the #1 requested post in the United States Army. But I did want to highlight 2 quick things. First off, my Ranger buddy, Command Sergeant Major Jack Love, has been picked up to be the Command Sergeant Major of Siebert in Afghanistan. He'll drive away on Friday as well to do 2 preliminary courses en route to Afghanistan. So he'll be out, and the nominative list will be generated. And the backfill for me is Major General Burleson, and he will pick a new Sergeant Major. But Jack and Cindy Love. Cindy's going to stay here in her quarters on post, but they're a great team. If we give them a round of applause, please. They truly represent the spirit of the bayonet. And then one last, Cindy Burleson, Bill Burleson and Cindy Burleson will be the new command team of the 7th Infantry Division on Friday, and she's here with Shelley observing the community update. So I just want to introduce her as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so any questions? I did one introduction I wanted to do is I am married. We're a big Army family, so my spouse here, Colonel Lang Lucas, is here as well. So he will also take your questions, complaints, concerns. So please send those his way as well. And we really, on behalf of my family, and I'm very pleased to be here and look forward to getting to know all of you. Sir, do you want to have any closing comments?
I'd just like to say, as you'll hear us talk about the change of command for 7th ID, Tom and we were captains back at the career course in Fort Benning a long time ago. And I just ask you, it will get really crazy here in the next 2 or 3 days. So please say a fond farewell to this great team, to the Team James, and we're all going to miss you. And what I've seen in the past is we say I'll do that at the change of command, and then something happens and they're gone. So take the time now to do that. Again, I want to thank all of what you guys are doing here. This is important. What you do every day helps us get ready to deploy, fight, and win. And so thanks for all you're doing. Have a great day.